Like, I really don't think, I don't know. I don't have an issue like imagining what the scale of Lumiose City is gonna be.
I don't think that's the issue with what we're talking about exactly. I think we're talking about that it's a city, and so like, where's the wild part about the
Yeah.
Right.
Pokemon? You know what I
Like the
mean? Like,
gameplay will have to be drastically different from Legends Arceus. Like it almost makes you wonder, like, what defines a Legends game other than the fact that like it's presumably set in a different time period.
Well, this is what we're trying to figure out. I think it's the real world, or what do you call it, like the action combat, whatever you want to call that, the real time action combat. That's an element of it.
Like it's not just straight up turn based combat.
Yeah. I do think it's gonna be back in time. I do think crafting is gonna be an element of it, and we know in the trailer it said Legends ZA. It says that like our job will be to help with the reconstruction of this of Lumiose City. So to me, instead of just crafting just your items, which I think we will be able to craft our items, we'll also be able to do these larger scale things where we collect resources, and then it's like Animal Crossing. You give them up to your overlord, Mr. Nook, right? And he builds out the whole city for us, right? I think it's just going to kind of happen. And we did see that in Legends Arceus, so that's going to be a part of it. And I zoomed in on this, for listeners, I'm zoomed in on a picture of Lumiose City. This is the map, the original map for X and Y.
I like this.
And
Pick up this.
It does look pretty detailed. And what you can see is like, there's obviously that river that flows through it. And I think we also see there's other channels of water that probably will go out. So that's a water element. You guys mentioned the catacombs. That could be something. I do think there's going to be wide open areas in greenery. But here's the thing. There's going to be so much. We're going to be able to get lost in the city. It's not, so.
It's not just the streets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like you do have like in actual Paris, like you have like, botanical gardens and stuff there. There's Dusty, can you look up it's DES space. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce this. DES space THER.
Just literally spell it.
MOPOL.
MOPOR.
This is a long word.
MOPOLYES.
YES.
It is a street in Paris, or maybe like a court in Paris, and it is like you can see it's known for being like overgrown with vines and ivy, and like that's something that I think could be really cool. Is like having like these like almost neighborhoods or districts of Lumiose City that are like themed around an environment. So like this is like a jungly area. So here you're finding like wild pansage swinging around and scatterbugs walking around everywhere.
And they could probably make these wider.
But will they kill you?
Yes.
That's what we want to know.
Yes.
This is honestly
one
good
of my
because
favorite things about Arceus though is that it's like there feels like there's actual stakes roaming around the wild. Like when I get hit with like a Paldean Tauros or a Veluza in Scarlet and Violet, I'm just mildly annoyed. I'm not like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Like it feels like there's actual consequences for like letting your guard down.
Oh, absolutely.
No, this is honestly.
Y'all remember that Alpha Rapidash in the first area? We all had like a moment with that, right? Like where we're like, oh crap,
Absolutely. I think a way that maybe they could do this is, and we've talked about it, and obviously I don't want to like be hopeful for something that they said probably won't happen, but I do think there's maybe room for us to get elemental biomes that represent the 5 areas or routes that surround Lumiose City, but we only get the outskirts of those areas and how they kind of blend into the city. And that would allow for a more wide open. So basically we'd have this like core section around the Lumiose Tower, but then like as you go further out, I imagine 100 years ago, this these buildings on the outskirts of the city wouldn't be there. And instead, you'd have like more natural elements. And again, if this is called Legends ZA and Zygarde is a fundamental part, like I do think there is going to be natural areas. Zygarde is the Pokemon of, it's the keeper of the environment.
That in itself is a question because it's like he's like the guardian protector of the ecosystem,
right.
yet the entire game is supposedly set in a city.
Yeah.
So how do you even like find Zygarde?
Maybe that's what the A legendary is. The A legendary is like artificial, and Zygarde is like,
ooh,
right?
That's crazy. I hadn't even like linked that together until now.
I mean, I'm just I kind of just set that off.
That makes sense because like the A, you know, on the like title logo or whatever, it looks very futuristic. Like people said, it looks like the ultimate weapon.
Yeah,
I've said for a while now, I think that the routes around Lumiose City could still appear because like the route with the power plant, that's literally referred to as the Lumiose Badlands. You know, the route above Lumiose City, that's a little park. That can be a park in Lumiose City. Then you've got a pond. That can be a pond in the city. You've got that topiary garden below it. Is a part of Lumiose City, it looks like to me. The skate park, that looks like it's like they all look like they could still be a part of the city, you know?